Tatiane Spitzner was a 29-year-old lawyer and lived in Guarapuava, Brazil. Tatiana was beautiful and an intelligent woman. In early 2013, she met Luis Felipe Manvailer. Now, their relationship moved pretty fast. By November 2013, Luis proposed, and a few weeks later, on December 3rd, 2013, the two got married and were together for a little over 5 years. From an outsider's point of view, you may initially think that the two looked happy and that they were well suited, as he was a biology lecturer and she was a lawyer. They were intelligent, successful, and attractive. What more could you want in a relationship? But this couldn't have been further from the truth. Prior to her death, close friends of Tatiane shared a series of texts that mentioned her feeling afraid of her husband and that he was mistreating her and that she wanted a divorce. A close friend of hers would also mention that Luis was a jealous man and would oftentimes get physically violent. Tatiana was subjected to DV for some time. Her neighbors would share that they oftentimes would hear loud noises, which resembled yelling and cries for help. But they avoided getting involved until it was too late. On July 22nd, a night that should have been filled with joy, it was instead a night from hell. It was Luis's birthday, and they planned on going out for food and some drinks with some friends. Prior to them going out, Luis fought with Tatiane because she was running late due to getting her nails done. Now, take a moment and imagine if you, a loving wife who only wanted to look your best for your husband's birthday, and all because you were running a little late, you instead were met with anger and violence from your husband. The two eventually went out, where they celebrated Luis's birthday with friends. After the birthday celebrations, Luis and Tatiane drove back home. This is where security cameras captured the horrifying events that led to Tatiane's death. We can see their car outside of their building. Inside, you can see Luis being physically violent towards Tatiane. He repeatedly slaps her and doesn't let her out of the car. While in the underground parking, Tatiane tries to hide behind a pillar, but it's not too long before Luis finds her and she tries to run away. Tatiane tries to escape the violence by running towards the elevator and attempting to close the doors, but Luis isn't far behind. He gets in and the elevator doors close behind him. Take a moment and imagine the fear that Tatiane may have felt during this moment. Luis repeatedly grabs and restrains Tatiane from moving. She tries her best to fight back, but Luis is far too tall and his strength overpowers her. She attempted to run out of the elevator prior to their floor, but Luis threw her back in. When they arrived at their floor, Tatiane tried her best not to get out, but Luis wouldn't allow that to happen. These are the last moments of Tatiane breathing. What the security cameras did not capture was roughly the 15 to 20 minutes of alleged brutality inside the couple's apartment. But shortly after the pair arrived at their apartment, a body plunges 40 feet to the floor outside the building. Cameras show Luis bringing Tatiane's body into the elevator. The camera shows Luis holding his head and then captures him calmly cleaning traces of blood from the walls and the floor of the hallway and elevator. Luis then changes and gets into his car, where he drove 185 miles from the city after crashing on a motorway, and claimed he fled because he was too disturbed by images of his wife jumping to stay. Although Luis was claiming his wife took her own life, the autopsy reports showed that she was subjected to prolonged periods of violent physical aggression and signs of asphyxiation. Following a 7-day trial, Luis Felipe Manvailer was sentenced to 31 years, 9 months, and 18 days in prison for homicide and obstruction of justice.